All right, hey guys, Jason here, Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. We are trip 2 in Georgia. Just got down here yesterday, and it rained hard this morning, all morning. It was pouring, so I decided to skip that and get some sleep after driving for 17 hours. And just now got out here. It is about 12:30 in the afternoon, and just getting set. My intention was to be able to drive down here further, about another 3/4 of a mile to get me where I wanted to go, but I hit this. You can see my car over there, my Cherokee, and I hit this, and I wasn't quite sure. I started to drive into it, hit a hole where I sunk up to the top of my tires, and with it being moving water and that water being up the side of my, up past my doors, I was kind of thinking, I don't know. I walked it, so I parked there and I walked it, and it did not come over my boots on a certain spot. Anyway, long story short, I'll bet I could drive it, which is nice to know. If I kill a pig, I bet I can get through that if I stick to the right, your left hand side right over there and go around. I think I can make it, so good to know that. But we are heading back in here, and we're gonna go give it a shot and see if we can't get some pigs in. We got 2 down already last time I was here. I'm in a whole new area on a whole new WMA, so we are gonna see what it looks like and see what we can figure out, and we're gonna walk these roads and see if I can't find any good sign, and when I do, then I'm going to start moving in on them. But look, you can already see rooting right there. So that's a good sign. Remember, it poured last night, about 1 inch of rain. We got some rooting over here. So I'm seeing some good sign already right off the bat. And like I said, my intention was to drive further down here, but I am seeing some signs of some rooting even right here on the road. So we're gonna dive into this and see what we can come up with. So we'll be back. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for right there. Look at that. Look at how tore up and shredded this little area is right here. And that's not that old. Again, almost 1 inch of rain last night, so we are getting excited to see what we can find. Pigs sure do love these big tipped over, these big blowdowns. Look at all that. They just love it. They mud the trees, like you're seeing right here. They get in there, they get all covered up in mud. Then they rub on these trees to scratch. You can see it on that one back there too. You can see it right here. That's actually pretty fresh too. Look at how fresh this mud is. Look at that. And again, we rained today. That is fresh. Look at that. So they were just in here, and we are on the right track and in the right place. But they love these setups. I'm just following this pig trail. See this pig trail that runs right up through here, and it's taking me through this super thick bedding, beds over here, beds along there, beds at the end of this one, beds over by that one. That big wallow that tipped over one's about 40 yards over there. I just showed you, and I'm just following this pig trail from there where we found that real fresh mud on that tree, and I'm assuming this is the trail that those pigs are using. So we're just going where the terrain and the pigs tell us to go and see what happens. I love it. Pig rooting everywhere in here, and this is pretty fresh for being a hardcore rain yesterday. All last night, started last night. Rain started last night at about 10 p.m. and went all the way through, and it's still raining right now. Most of it, the severe stuff, was between midnight and 6 a.m. this morning, but it's still raining. And look at the amount of sign we have in here. This is just phenomenal. I'm liking it. I'm going to try and cut across this swamp and that big swamp that flows right over there, right into this stuff, and work that edge. Beautiful area. Pigs sure do love their logs, their blowdowns. Look at this. Look at it all along the edge of this. Look at here. Get right there. Look at the pig beds there. They love blowdowns. Look at this pig trail. to this wallow. See the mud on the trees behind it, all the where they rub up on those trees. Look at how high some of those rub lines are, those mud lines. This is insane. It's a heck of a wallow. Fresh tracks. Keep in mind, like I said, rained last night and it's still raining. Look at how fresh those tracks still are. I mean, this thing is pretty crazy. It's a heck of a wallow. But the key thing to remember in here, or that I'm trying to show you, is the height of the rub, the mud line. Look at this. It's the height of the mud line on these trees. Those are some huge pigs. This is a huge pig. I mean, look at this. That is almost waist high on me, on that one. That is almost waist high. That one there is even bigger. We're going to come over here and look at this. So if I stand next to this, that is higher than my belt line. That's how tall that is on there. That is an insane size pig. I mean, that is a massive pig to be able to do that. These are all rubbed so high and it's fresh. Look at how fresh that mud is. Did I just hear something? I gotta be careful not to talk too loud. I am out here hunting, but I like showing this stuff to you guys. But look at the difference between the fresh mud and the dried mud. You can tell that this has been done recently, that they have been through here. Getting close. I'm liking the sign we're seeing, but that is one heck of a wallow with massive pigs. I mean, height-wise, those are some huge pigs that are hitting these trees in here. All right, day 2. I just got done dropping Tina off. She came out with me this morning. We covered a lot of ground this morning and did not see any pigs though. And it's 60 degrees now, so it's getting pretty warm. And we're going to see what happens here today. So we're heading back out. Just parked right here. And you want to talk about awesome. That Cherokee has been able to take me places my diesel truck just would not get to with the mud and stuff. It's been amazing out here. And I got my traction boards, my cooler in there. Inside that cooler, I also have 2 pairs of waders and a inflatable kayak if I needed it. But the water level here this year, right now, so far this year, is so incredibly low that I just can't. It's not even worth trying. I mean, I can drive to most of the places where this time last year it was near impossible. To even, like, I couldn't get to where I am right now. It's not even possible to get here in a normal year, so, or the way it was last year anyway. So that's been kind of a bonus. I can, I can drive to and walk to these areas. So right now what I'm doing is I'm walking about 1.6 miles down this road that I'm on, and then I'm going to cut in and zigzag my way back to it is basically what the game plan is here, and check this swamp. So it's not far from where I was yesterday. I showed you a lot of that stuff when I was out here yesterday, and then me and Tina went back to that area this morning, covered some more ground, saw a ton of sign. Did not see any pigs though, but saw more sign than I've seen any place else that I've ever hunted pigs at. Never seen so much sign as I did, but I cannot for the life of me figure out where they're at in there during daytime. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm bound and determined to make it happen, because like I said, gold mine spot. I just can't find them during daylight. So I'm going to give it a whirl. We'll see what we come up with. They're still over there firing. Here, they're still over there firing. I stopped recording it like 3 minutes ago. That's what you get for a Saturday evening or a Sunday evening on state land. Just found a cool shed. Look at that. Nice little 6-point. I might as well just go home. What these guys are doing, they're in a side-by-side and they're letting their dog go. So they stop in a spot, let the dog out. The dog runs somewhere. It takes about 5-6 minutes. You hear the dog start barking. They fire up the side-by-side, drive to the dog. Boom, 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 boom. Dog gets back in. They drive to a different spot. Wait. Dog starts barking. They drive up to it. unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're hunting with a dog and a side-by-side to do all the work for them. And then they just step off and shoot them down. Literally, like a minute ago, I had a gator that was, you know, just sitting there with his head above the water, and he just dropped down as I walked over here. That might be him right there. See that right there? Might be him right there with the bubbles coming up. How crazy is that? I mean, it's January. It's a warm day, 64 degrees, but still, you wouldn't think you'd be seeing alligators in here. You know, up and, you know, out of their dens in January. But it goes to show you. Look at the pig tracks down this road. Right here. Just crazy. Right down this road. And apparently, that jackass with the side-by-side also went through here. I saw it on a map, and I was hoping that I could get, you know, be on the edge of this stuff. This looked like water, but the water's real low this year. But that looked like water on the map, you know, like a low depression. I thought maybe all this stick stuff would work, but I was not taking into account this river or this creek that runs through here. I can't get over there, not without waders or being, I mean, that's probably, I'm guessing that's probably on me chest deep, and I'm not in the mood to deal with it with only a half-hour daylight left. So we're just going to continue down this road and see if there's a way for me to get around that. If not, then we're just going to work our way back and write today off as a bummer day. All right, hopefully you can see that on there. Hopefully it's coming in, but I'm trying to hold my bow and a flashlight in one hand and phone in the other one. But we are coming out, which is actually getting pretty hard to see because I'm shining the light at myself. But no nothing today. Pig, you know, on day 2, no nothing. I jumped one deer earlier today as soon as I got out here at like 1:30 in the palmettos, and that was pretty cool because I was probably, I don't know, maybe 10 yards from that deer. And then I jumped one other thing too. It could have been a pig, could have been a deer. That was about a half hour after that, also in the palmettos, but I never seen it. But usually when it's deer, you can see their whitetails running away, even because they're bounding. And that second one, I did not see that. So it could have been a pig, I don't know. A lot of people, man, a lot of people. And the water level's really low here. Normally the water, normally where I'm at, you can't even get to. It's flooded out. This whole thing's underwater. And this year there's, you know, right now it's really low water. So you can get to places that you, hang on, I gotta see where I'm going here. I gotta get around this here. Normally you should be able to, you shouldn't be able to be back here. And I am, so hang on. I don't want to trip in this stuff. There we go. So anyway, that's kind of a good and a bad thing, I guess. But I don't want to go to that little honey hole sweet spot that I killed those 2 pigs in 12 days ago, 2 weeks ago, basically. I don't want to go back there yet. I'm saving that for Tina for when she can hunt an evening. And when she wants to come out here at night, I want to take her into there because that's a pretty good spot. And you know how I feel about honey holes anyway. Once you find one and you use it, then it's time to move on. Don't hang out in it. You don't learn nothing. So I'd rather spend my time learning new areas, new things, finding new places, and try and get into pigs in other places. I mean, I know that one's there. Will it always be good? I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, pigs are nomadic. So many variables to this. I have seen, it's got to be pushing, not counting South Carolina where I saw those 30-something pigs in 2 days. Not to rule that out, but here in Georgia, I think I'm up to about 17 or 18 pigs, not at different times. Okay, I'm not talking about like groups of pigs. I'm saying 17 or 18 different times where I was into pigs hunting. You know, I didn't always get shots, but killed 3. And out of all that, though, I have seen them in every kind of terrain there is. There is no rhyme or reason for where they are. Some are in the open, along water edges. Some are in palmettos. Some are on the edges of river canes. Some are on the edges of, you know, the ditches that run through there. There's no rhyme or reason to them. They just do whatever they want, and they go. They're just eating machines, and they just travel and eat. That's what they do. So it's real hit or miss, and usually requires quite a bit of miles to find them. I spent 2 days in this area, yesterday and today, trying to narrow down and find where those pigs are spending their time at daylight. I found where they're spending their time at night. I found the food places and where all the rooting is, but that's not where they are during daylight. I spent 2 days trying to figure it out. Got busted out by squirrel hunters today. All I heard yesterday was one pig squeal, and it was in the rain, so I could not get a bearing on where that was. So I got nothing to show for it. I got more days left. I'm gonna set my bow right here for a sec so I can run the camera better. All right, but I got a couple more, I got more days left. I think we're down here for another 10 days. I won't hunt all of those because my parents are down here as well too. They rented a cabin at the same place we got our camper at. So I'll be spending some time with them a little bit as well too. But I'm going to get out here every chance I can, hopefully get Tina into some pigs. That's my ultimate goal. But she just, she's got too many things going on and she can't be out here all day. So usually she's either hunting in the morning or hunting in the evening every other day, that kind of thing. And so we shall see what happens. But day 2, a wrap, nothing to show for it, but a great time and some great exercise and beautiful weather. So there you go. All right, day 3 here. I think time is at 9:30 in the morning. I've been at it here for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and just relocated to a different spot. I ran out of cover at the last one and didn't really care for what I was finding. Like I said, I'm trying a whole bunch of new areas, and it's really hard on the maps here to see the difference in terrain. You can see where the water is in the lowlands, but it just makes it kind of hard. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. When I was here last year, this whole road was underwater. Okay, there was water all the way up here on the edge. Look at the high water line on these trees out here. How high that water usually is and how low it is right now. But normally, like I said last year, right at this pine tree, right there, was where water started here and flowed, and this whole thing here was all underwater. Isn't that crazy? That's probably 10-foot difference in water from what it was last year. Makes it kind of hard because when you have water, it limits where the pigs can go. So if you got 100% of a property and you take away 50% of it because of water, that means there's only 50% of the place that the pigs can be on. When you take 100% and you have only water on 15%, that's 85% of the places that pigs can be on. And pigs are not super picky. They don't like to be in this type of open stuff during daylight. They'll be out here rooting at night all the time, but they don't like to be in that open stuff during daytime. That makes it pretty complicated. Like I said, when you gotta put all the math together here and figure out where they are, and makes it a little bit harder. But yeah, pretty interesting that whole thing was all underwater last year. Probably 10 feet taller, 10 feet deeper water. Look at how these stumps screw with your mind. Tell me that doesn't look like a pig out there. That's why you always have to have binoculars. I just happened to walk over and look. I knew it wasn't a pig because it's not moving, but it could have been bedded there. But those things make you use your binoculars all the time. They always just mess with you. Looks like a pig standing out there. Another wallow. They take advantage of these tipped over trees because they create that hole in the ground filled with water and it's mud, and they just tear these up and they use them to coat themselves in that mud and cool off. And you can usually find them. If you don't find a wallow, usually what you'll see like that mud on a tree right there. That's dried mud there, but that'll be a good tip off because some of the trees around it will be covered in mud like this. Right here, like that, right there, where moss is rubbed off and it's all mud. That kind of tells you there's a wallow around here somewhere. You can see the bed tucked in right there next to it. So, good area. We got pigs. Bunch of pigs right over there. I gotta try and get at them. think they beat me. I just made like a 150-yard loop trying to cut off those pigs. They were moving fast. They were on a mission. And I don't know how many there were. I just saw glimpses of black and low to the ground, and like more than one of them, like 3, 4 of them, and they were... And so I tried to cut them off up here. They were heading, you know, the wind for me would have been perfect. So it's not me that they winded. I don't know what maybe they're just cruising through, but man, they were moving, and I thought I could get in front of them, and I was moving way too quick for how dry all of this is around here. And I don't know if I spooked them then, or if they got ahead of me. I don't know. I'm going to continue that way and see if I can't catch up to them. But the problem is, the wind is kind of going away. They're heading. So if they made it past me and I try to go after them, my wind's going to hit them. So I'm just going to try one more bounce out and make one more circle and see. But not looking real good on those particular pigs. All right, here we are, day 4. And I did not hunt yesterday. Yesterday was a beautiful 77-degree day, and my wife wanted to do some stuff, so we did not hunt yesterday. So I was not out here yesterday. It's my 4th day of this trip, though, being out here. And I'm going to head out here and give it a shot, dive into this swamp. It's a good-looking area here. We're going to see what happens and give it our all. And that's about it here. But it's a hot day. It's going to be 76 today. Bugs are already bad. Mosquitoes are already out and covered in DEET. Snakes are going to be out. Gators are probably going to be out. Like I said, just one of those kind of days. But it's going to start. Thunderstorms start at 1 o'clock, and they continue all night, all day tomorrow, and don't stop until about 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So I'm hoping with this rain front moving in, and the temp drops off tomorrow too. So I'm hoping that this ends up being a good day, and these pigs know that, and they're going to be out feeding pretty hard. That's the game plan anyway. We'll see what happens. It's like trying to find a needle in a very big haystack, looking for a 2-foot tall black blob somewhere in all this stuff here, and hoping you find him before he finds you, and hoping that your wind doesn't hit him before you find him as well too. And you can only travel with the wind in your face for so far, and then you run out and you're a long way from the car, and you have to somehow backtrack, trying to zigzag, whatever you can do. But this is what it is, pig hunting, trying to find a needle in a very big haystack. Another shed, that's pretty cool. Look at that shed antler, it's a nice one there too. Nice little 8-point. A lot of deer here, a lot of sheds laying around. Look at all those pig tracks right here in the road. Look at that. Love it. Just pig tracks everywhere. I'm going to come back to this place with Tina on Wednesday, or actually on Thursday. Today, it's raining right now. Thunderstorms. And it's supposed to be thunderstorming today. Starting now, it's 1:30. And it's supposed to storm all night, all afternoon, all night, and all day tomorrow until about 9 o'clock tomorrow night with non-stop thunderstorms. God, look at all the tracks in here. So, but we will come back. Me and her are going to come back to this area on Thursday and see if I can't get her into some pigs. This is a good zone here. Pig hunting is hard. If you want to kill a pig, go to a private property where you can have feeders or something like that, where they can set you up, and then you can go there for 3 days. You can kill a pig or two and sitting on a feeder and be happy, because public land pig hunting is not easy. This is not hard. I mean, you got to understand, you are hunting nocturnal animals during daylight that wander and are nomadic in habitat and where they eat, and they're eating machines. You're usually 1 day behind them. Even if you find areas that are all tore up and fresh, they've already been there. They're most likely not coming back. They're moving on. It's very hard to pinpoint and nail these things down on public land. Now, you can get a honey hole here and there where they like to be, bedding areas, things like that. But it's harder than you think it is. And it takes a lot out of you, but it's great exercise. That's the big advantage for me. Like I said, we got, it's 18 degrees at home and snowing today with 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. Right here, it's 77 degrees. I'm out here walking around. I've done about 4.5 miles this morning, and I'm getting in shape. I'm feeling great, and I'm having a great time. And I got a bow in my hand. and I'm looking for pigs. It doesn't get better than that. So, you know, you got to understand what the priorities are when you're doing this stuff. Look how pretty that is. Little creek right here we're going to cross through. But, yeah, you got to understand your priorities and what you're trying to get out of this trip. Because if your goal is to come down south to, you know, southern states and shoot a public land pig, you're in for a rude awakening. It's not easy. It's very hard. I see more deer. I walk up within shooting range of more deer than I do pigs. And, you know, today's the first day on this trip that I didn't see a pig. But, you know, seeing a pig or jumping a pig versus getting a shot at a pig is a whole nother world. And I've covered a lot of ground in 4 days. And, well, 3.5 days. Well, actually, 3 days. 2 half days. Today being a half day, too. So, all right, I'm going to end this here. And we'll be back when we come back out on Thursday. But I got about probably 3/4 of a mile to a mile to get to the car. And I'm going to be soaked when I get there. Go home, take a shower, eat some food, kick back and relax, and ride the storm out and be back out here on Thursday. Talk to you guys then. Well, they weren't kidding when they said it was going to be raining, because it is raining pretty hard. I'm struggling here. I'm actually, the road's flooded out and jumping, pulling my wheels, and yeah, you want to talk about an adventure. It is raining. Never seen nothing like this in Michigan. So this is where I killed my first pig this year. I was actually over there and I videotaped him from the other side of this. Shot him in there. This is just basically this big bog right here, this bottom with like, it's all hardwoods around it, but it's got like 25 yards of river cane, you know, 25 yards of river cane, and you hit the woods. So it's nothing crazy. And, but one thing interesting, we had an inch of rain come down yesterday. And this is now completely full of water. You can see the water line on my boots coming up to yay high in here. And like I said, it's just rainwater. So where I was trapped by this last time, and I couldn't get across this because it was too loud and too noisy and too open to get to those pigs. If you watch that other video I did, now I'm using it as quiet approach so that I can walk through here, cutting from the hardwoods there to the hardwoods there, working my way through this. But this allows me to walk very quietly because of the water. No noise. Rather than being on dry, crunchy leaves. Just nice and quiet. As long as you don't step on everything and trip. I'm on a new WMA today, and this one is a lot different than anything I am used to. This is a whole different ball game. A couple of these little old 2-tracks that I'm using to kind of come through here, because that stuff is loud to get into, and I'm hoping it'll let me find some pigs somewhere. I see some tracks, not much rooting, not quite sure what I think of this place yet. All right, it's getting towards the end of the day. I think this is day 5 or day 6. I think it's day 6. I've been to 3 WMAs in the last 3 days. And one of them I liked. The other 2, not so much. This one, so far, not so much where I am. But this one's a little tricky. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. There's only certain areas of it that you can go to at certain times, and it changes daily. So there's a lot of complicated hoops, and the roads here are a mess. They are sand roads. And with the rain we had yesterday, it is miserable. But I've been here since 2 o'clock and just been working it. And I found some tracks on the sand road. Most of the whole place is this kind of cover, which is pretty disappointing, honestly. I mean, I guess there's this good enough cover for pigs, because I'm seeing sign. I got rooting in here. Again, heavy rains, so I do have rooting, but it's pretty interesting terrain. And it's this for, I drove 6 miles of this place, and in 6 miles, this is basically what it is where I'm at in this particular area of it. This is what it's like. And so after getting out, doing a mile here, doing a mile there, checking this one, walking a couple of roads looking, I decided that the best thing to do was where that little sand road I was on had like I don't know, 12 or 15 sets of pig tracks crossing it. And I'm figuring, okay, well, maybe they're coming into here and feeding in here. So I thought, all right, so I parked my car way down there, half mile down, and I went up a mile and made a loop back through this stuff. And now I'm working my way back. I got 3/4 of a mile to go that way till I hit that sand road, and then I'm a half mile down. But my hopes are that I'm lining up where all those tracks were, that they'll be coming from bedding on the other side and coming across to here to feed in here for the evening. I got about 20 minutes of daylight left, 3/4 of a mile to go, and we shall see what happens. But I don't think I'll come back to this spot. I think instead I'll wait till other areas of this place open up and then maybe try those. But this section, not as impressed here. It's not what I'm looking for, but it feels good to be outside enjoying the weather. We're going to see what happens. Look at this pig rooting here. They've been having a field day in here. Look at along these cypress knees. And this is fresh. This is old that I'm in right now, but look at this fresh stuff right here. You can see the difference between fresh and old perfectly. The stuff I'm in yesterday, day before. But look at how it's here. It's wet and just turned over. Look at all this. Look at this. You can see the difference in here, but this is fresh pig rooting right here, and they have tore this up. I mean, this is just wrecked. And that's fresh. That's within, that's last night. I'm pretty sure that's last night. I got a feeling we are definitely in the right place for some pigs here in this cypress bottom down here. So we're going to keep trying and see what we can do. I got Tina with me this morning. She's not one for being on camera much, so she's right behind me. But we are going to try to get into some pigs here and see if we can't get her one. Good pig trail. We got hogs right there. We got hogs right over there. I can hear them in there grunting and rooting around. Alright, I just shot that pig. That's my third pig this season. I just shot that. I can see you. I hope you can hear it on the camera. I had it running. I had it zoomed in as far as I could, but they were oinking and roaring over there and going, and my heart's still beating like crazy because they cut in. I heard them from, I'm walking a road. That road is only literally like 60 yards over there. So I hear them over there, you know, right off the side of the road. I can't see them, but I can hear them. So I cut in. I start following them through. It's really open right over there. It kind of comes into this little bit thicker stuff here. But anyway, so I'm moving with them, trying to catch up to them. Finally, I catch up, and I can't see very well because they're kind of in this stuff. Well, I get into here, this little clear spot. I came in from right through there, and I'm standing right here, and that pig works right here around. Let me see. Hang on, sorry. Phone camera, come on, do your thing here. Let me switch this over. There we go. But he comes right through here, right on the other side of that palmetto, right here, comes up and he stops right at this root and he's facing me, and he walks right up this way, stands right here at like, I don't know, maybe 4 yards, 3 to 4 yards, and he's kind of quartering this way a little bit towards me, you know, like on a, not quite, he's standing here facing me. He turns his body to start to go this direction. Boom, I drill him right there. I mean, I'm standing right here. I shoot him. He turns and comes straight at me. I jump out of the way and he crashes right through here and runs that way. I mean, holy cow. My heart is racing. I mean, he almost ran me over. I mean, I shot him at 4 yards and he passed me at like 2 feet. I mean, he ran by me at like 2 feet. I could see my arrow, and actually that was what was scary, was my arrow, I'm pretty sure it sunk all the way in, because I saw like a 90% of the shaft in a broadhead come like that close to my ankles as he came through here, as I jumped out of the way, sticking out of the offside. But it was like that much, you know, from my leg for that broadhead and arrow as I went, and he came cruising by me. Never had anything like that happen before. Whew. All right, we're going to go try and find this dude, see what I can come up with here. But we got rain coming. It's been sprinkling all morning. And let's see what we can do. All right, bye. All right, so I've been blood trailing for about an hour here. And I'm guessing probably maybe 150 yards, maybe, I'm guessing. I mean, farther than I anticipated. We've been going for a while. And it's raining. And it's been, yeah, it's not raining hard, but enough. Well, I found that pig. And I actually, kind of funny story again here. So as I'm, forgive me, with the orange vest is because I've been using this vest to mark where last blood is between that and my hat as I'm going here. But so anyway, so I'm blood trailing. I'm coming through. I'm looking at the little drops of blood. I'm working it. I'm looking for blood. I'm looking for blood. I'm standing here looking for blood. I'm like, okay, I lost it. I lost the blood right there. It's the last time I saw blood. Where is it? And I just happened to stop and go, all right, I want to just look for a second. I looked up and, oh, there's a pig right there. Like I was right here where I'm standing at last blood right there and looked up and saw that pig laying there. I did not see it walking up. It just goes to show how involved in blood trailing you can be and not pay attention. But there is that pig right there. There we have pig number 3 for the year, exactly as it lays and exactly, whoops, exactly as we see it here. And I'm assuming she is a sow. I'm guessing here. Let me put my bow down. Let's see what we got here. And I'm taking this orange vest here off of here too and throwing that right there in a tree. There we go. There's a shot location. That is the entrance side right there. And yeah, looks like I'm guessing that's a big old sow. Ooh. Oh, she's been there for a while. Yeah, it's a sow. Yeah, that's a good sized pig. That is a good sized pig. You know, give it to you for reference wise. Which I'll set up some pictures and stuff here too. But I mean, that's a pretty dang good pig right there if you think about that, dude. But yeah, so there she is, dead. And got her. Looks like she's been here for a while. Like I said, told you. I mean, you can see she's stiffening up a little bit there. But I mean, I'm a couple hours into this trying to find her. She took me on quite a goose chase. Maybe I'll save it and screenshot that where she took me through. But so anyway, that was the entrance hole right there. I wish I'm getting blood on my, oh, got blood on my bow. Cannot have blood on your bow. There we go. Cleaned it off. Sorry about that, Steve. All right. So anyway, we have pig number 3 down on the ground right there. Beautiful pig. I'm going to get some pictures taken. And unfortunately, this pig went the wrong direction from where the truck is. So this is going to be quite an adventure. I don't know if I'm going to hike back and grab my frame pack or just try dragging. These pigs drag pretty easy. They're not too bad. And with it being wet and rainy, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But I got to bone it out here anyway, one way or the other. So whether I bone it now or I bone it then, I guess it just whether I want to get my frame pack or not. But all right, we're going to set up some pictures. But beautiful day. Gorgeous setup, nice in here. Again, they take you into this nasty crap. This whole track job was through this crap. And it's just a little bottom in here with such, again, edging of this kind of stuff. But they really, they work you through it. You know, they make it a pain in the butt for you. You know, trying to find a 2-foot tall black blob in this crap can be an adventure. So, but again, these ones, found them by hearing them. I heard them before I saw them, and that's what brought me in here to come and find them. And worked out perfect. All right, it's starting to rain pretty good here. I'm going to get some pictures done. Okay, I just noticed, check that out. She got one pure white hoof. That is cool. A pure 100% white hoof on there. The other one's black, but that one, pure white hoof. It's kind of cool. That's pretty interesting. All right, I decided I'm going to bone her out right here. Get her done, get her taken care of. So we're going to get it all set. I got the pig there. Just got done doing my pictures. So pig set for pictures. I got my Avalon set up, my rubber gloves. I got a game bag. Took my shirt and stuff off because, like I said, it's warm enough. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bone it out. Since I can't carry it on that little camel backpack that I have down there, right there is not going to obviously carry this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bone it out, put it in a game bag, and then I'm going to carry that game bag like Santa Claus over my shoulder and hike it back out of here. Like I said, it's not that super far. It's about 150 yards plus another 70 yards to that, 150 yards to where I shot, 70 yards past there to the road. And then once I get it to the road, I can probably get my Jeep down there. I know there's one big hole, but I can probably get down there. So I think that's my game plan. I'm gonna bone it out, put it in a bag. I've been to 4 WMAs in 8 days of hunting. 4 WMAs. This one here, I seen pig. I was here once in December and seen pigs here in December, and I just came back to there, and I was in a whole different area because they got it closed down for flooding. But this pig is killed on a different WMA than the other 2 pigs I killed earlier this year. So it's been good so far. I got one more trip down here coming up, and then I got we're leaving day after tomorrow. I'll probably try and get Tina into pigs. Getting Tina into pigs is hard because we're 2 people making a lot more noise, and Tina she does not like to be in this stuff. Even though I was on a road and then the pigs brought me in here, she does not like being in this thicker kind of stuff like this, the river cane and stuff. She doesn't want to be in this. And I don't blame her. There's a lot of, it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, so we will probably try tomorrow to get Tina into a hog, and then we leave to head home. We go home for about 10 days. We come back down here for 5 or 6 days, and then we're grabbing my camper from the park we got it at, and we're going to tow the camper home, and then that's going to wrap up my Georgia hog hunting for the year. So, but I can't complain. 3 pigs down so far, and I still got I still got one more trip down here. I'm loving it. So, all right, thanks. All right, we are back at the road. We are exactly at the spot where I heard those pigs, and then I went in and shot them at. But basically, this is it right here. Walking one of these little 2-track roads through here where it's nice and quiet. You got some rooting here on the sides, that kind of stuff. A little bit of rooting around here and cruising through here. You got hardwoods right there. It's just one of these things. And I was just happened to be standing right here, and I heard those pigs right over there. That's where I went down, and like I said, 60 yards into there is where I ended up shooting that pig. But we are back. We got a sack full of pig meat right there and my bow. And now we got a ways to get back to the car. I don't think I can make it through that puddle, but not that this is a hard thing to carry, but that's a pretty big hole right there. So I'm probably just going to carry it right to the car, but that's how it's done right there. That's pig hunting, and it feels really good. That's 3 now. Like I said, I'm trying to get out here with Tina tomorrow if she wants to, and but if we don't, this will be the end of this video until the next time, till next trip down, and we'll see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know some of you guys are mad because I don't film my hunts. I can't do this and film my hunts. Okay, I'm not Clay Hayes. I'm not all these guys that do that stuff. I can't do that. I'm spot and stalk, and the last thing on my mind when I see pigs is actually filming those pigs. I want to kill them. It's hard enough as it is. In the past, whatever I've done, 8 days or something, 7, 8 days that I've been out here, I'll bet I probably walked 50 miles. 50 miles in 7 or 8 days. Let that sink in there for a little bit, okay? This is insane stuff here. And trying to film it, if you don't like the fact that it didn't get the kill shot on there and it's just me talking a lot, find a new hunting channel, okay? Move on, because this is what these are. That's why it's called a vlog, okay? So take it for what it's worth. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a little bit. I keep trying to give you tidbits and ideas on what to look for pig hunting and how to do this. And I hope you're gaining stuff from it, and I hope you get out and give it a try. So thanks for watching. Bye. We're back at the truck. I just unhooked this, but these are the things I brought with me as well too. You can see in there I got Tina's 45-70 rifle frame pack that I can use to pack them out with, some extra clothes that I've been wearing while we're in here, that kind of stuff. But here, traction boards. I've done reviews on these things. They are amazing. They work fantastic, especially out here in the mud, in the muck, if you get stuck in them. So that is very handy to have. And then in here in the cooler, I have 2 pairs of waders and a inflatable kayak in case I get into situations like that where I needed to cross some major water crossings, or use this to get across across the creek or something like that to get me in there. It's an inflatable kayak plus 2 waders, and there's another set under these too. So I was prepared for anything and everything, and unfortunately too, because that means I had to cover more ground. But the water level right now is so low here that none of that stuff was even needed. So but I'm going to take that kayak out of there and put my meat in there and get everything ready to go, and we are done.